Here we are at Sherwin's Gym, aka the Cabin Gym here in the city of San Fernando, Pampanga. We're here to discuss some of the most boring exercises na ginagawa sa gym, yet very fundamental to our mechanics, our joint health. Kadalasan kasi hindi na to ginagawa ng mga lifters right now kasi nga, as I said, very boring sila. Pero napaka-importante to keep our overall physique healthy. So, isa-isahin natin mga ka-life. This episode is brought to you by Paras Catering and Events. Check out their FB page and see all the excellent customer feedback regarding their delicious food, great service, and elegant styling. You can reach them at 0917-844-4470 and look for Miss Jubian para. Alright, the first exercise is the dead hang. Para siyang pull up, pero ang difference lang is hindi tayo maangat pataas. So it's just hanging lang. Kasi literally nakahang lang tayo mga ka-life. Bakit ito very beneficial for us? As you well know, siguro kung may day job ka or you have an office job or you're a student, diba? So most of the time we spend majority of our days sitting. So hindi tayo tumatayo. We're not really moving around, then we just spend our time sitting. Tapos we're also driving. So sa mga kalahit natin na nagdo long drive, they spend most of their time driving. Tendency is talaga nakaupo tayo and it actually makes our spine shortened. It actually makes our spine compressed beyond what is normally required. So ang tendency, we get lower back pain. So what we need is spinal decongestion. So the dead hang is one of those exercises that can elongate our spine and put it back into its normal positioning. So imagine mo, buong araw nakaupo ka, naka-hunch ka, 'di ba? So posture problems na rin 'yon. And it actually puts a lot of unnecessary strain sa lower back natin. So we need to do exercises like the dead hang para lumuwag yung spaces in between our spinal column. So try it out. Medyo it will also help strengthen our grip kasi the longer we can hang, the better it is for our spine mga kalapit. Second exercise is the scapula pull. So, para din siyang variation of the pull-up, pero we're not really going all the way up. Sakto lang naaangat yung scapula natin, our shoulder blades, kumbaga. Bakit? It's also a way of opening up our shoulder blades. Kasi nga, a lot of times we get our posture wrong, yung tipong nag-hunch forward yung yung shoulders natin, nag-roll forward, tapos yung head natin is nakababa. Particularly sa ating nagsi-cellphone, nag-work sa laptop. So, tendency is nasasanay tayo sa ganung klaseng posture and it wreaks havoc dito sa sa shoulders natin. And a good way of opening up our shoulders is the scapula pull. Kasi nga, it strengthens the small muscles that is found at the upper back. So, kung hindi natin siya tinitrain din, tendency is magiging mahina yun. And kapag mahina yun, prone siya na matamaan ng overstretching or yun nga, it's prone to spasms. Yun. So, papansin nyo kapag napapagod kayo, di ba? Usually, ang sumasakit lagi is the area dun sa sa neck natin and sa upper shoulders natin. So, do this exercise para din naman kahit paano mas strengthen din natin yung upper back natin and our shoulder blades mga time. Alright, our third exercise is the face pull. There's one YouTube influencer na alam ko favorite niya to is si Jeff Cavalier of Athlete X. So, he professes this exercise as a must. Kasi nga, a lot of times we neglect the small muscles that build up our back. Sanay tayo na mag-exercise ng back, yung lat pull downs, yung mga close grip pull downs, mga rows, di ba? And yet, we fail to also see na there are small muscles that also support the bigger muscles that we train. No? If we neglect the small muscles, so yun yung magkukos din ng pain sa atin down the line. So, the face pull is one way of stabilizing yung region ng back natin sa likod, yung upper and yung middle natin. And it also helps strengthen also the rear delts na kadalasan din nakakalimutan din i-train mga ka-lightweight. So, face pulls is a good corrective exercise para din ma-correct din yung posture natin. Di ba? Nabanggit ko kanina na we tend to lean forward, our head and our shoulders tend to roll forward. So, ang paggawa ng face pull will actually help us maintain a better posture later on mga ka-lightweight. One way of also integrating a variation to the face pull is doing some sort of a shoulder press pagkatapos mong ma-complete yung second part ng exercise, then you lift your shoulders up. It's a great way of also giving a greater stretch sa ating mga shoulders mga ka-lightweight. Fourth exercise is the straight arm pull down. So you can't really go really heavy on this exercise kasi nga it's not meant to be heavy in the first place. Variation siya actually ng pullover, pero in this case you're standing up and doing the typical pullover na using a machine. So ano bang benefits ng doing this kind of exercise? Again, instead of laying down the bench on the bench and doing the regular pullover, it gives you a better stability by doing the exercise standing up and on a much lighter weight para mas makapag-focus kayo sa squeezing and sa contraction ng lat muscles natin. I think ako ginagawa ko to personally. I do this as a warm-up for all exercise days that I do kasi I feel na it gives my back the kind of warm-up na kailangan niya kasi nga tendency is when we do back exercises, we do the big movements, di ba? We do big exercises like pull downs, rows, deadlifts, and those lifts are require a big part of the back. Pero then again, we tend to neglect the smaller muscles that that are actually connected to the bigger muscles. So doing the straight arm pull down, it gives your lat yung necessary stimulus para matamaan yung mga smaller muscles that are located in the middle back, the lower back, and even the upper back. So, for me, it's a complete back exercise without really going heavy, diba? So, I think everybody can do it. You don't need to be super strong para gawin yung straight arm pull down, and yet you get to reap all the benefits of doing this exercise, mga ka-lightweight. Alright, the next exercise is the hip thrust. It actually focuses on the glutes and the hamstrings. Pero then again, like what I said earlier, a lot of us tend to get really weak hips and hip flexors kasi nga most of our time nakaupo tayo because of work, because of driving, and because of our lifestyle na rin. We neglect to move around as much as we should, di ba? So we tend to just be sedentary and just sit down, di ba? So ang hip thrust is meant to really give the hips and the flexors located at the hip area. It gives the necessary stretch and na exercise na yun kasi kailangan natin din i-focus yun kasi if we tend to neglect it, ang posterior chain natin is maapektuhan. We can't do squats properly, you can't do overhead presses properly kasi nga it's all connected to one chain. So kung mahina yung isang part ng chain, tendency is magko-compensate yung katawan natin and hahanapan niya ng ibang body part yun to kick around and help out with the movement na hindi naman dapat sila in the first place ang mag-help to do the exercise. And if we have a strong core, we have a strong hip area, we can do the bigger exercises properly and more efficiently. And eventually, iwas tayo mga kalifing, iwas injury. So currently, ako personally, I'm experiencing hip injury right now, and I do physical therapy sessions for it. Kasi nga I feel na hindi ko siya kaagad na focus in my early gym career. So ngayon lang ako humahabol, di ba? So kayo mga kalifit, huwag niyong hayaan mapabayaan niyo yung other weak areas nyo. And based on studies, we really tend to be really weak in this part of our physics mga kalifit. So doing the hip thrust, it's not necessarily heavy. Basta you go through the movement, you feel the movement, you feel it in your hip area para to get the required stretch that it needs, mga kalifit. Alright, the final set of exercises is doing foam rolls. Yes, I know medyo cringy sa mga ibang mga kalifin natin, pero it's actually very beneficial if gagawin nyo siya consistently. Doing foam rolls will actually target and specifically pinpoint ano yung parts ng katawan nyo yung masakit. And it parang binibigyan kayo ng massage. Self-massage, kumbaga. Maganda to sa upper back, sa middle back, not really the lower back kasi medyo sobrang stretch na yun. Sa hip area, sa calves, sa arms, sa shoulders. So, pwede niyang i-target yung mga buhol-buhol nating muscle fibers and give the relief that we desperately want. So, doing it consistently will actually give our muscle fibers time to really heal on itself kapag natitrain natin siya and nadadamage during the actual lifts. And we can fast track the recovery time that it can have. So yun, do the foam roll. Kahit boring siya mga kalifit, it's actually an important part of our overall training routine. There you have it mga kalifit. Those are just some of the boring exercises na we hate to do pero kailangan natin gawin kasi because of the benefits that it gives and the advantages that it carries in our training regimen. So, for more fitness content like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and Facebook page, LifeWith40. Hit the bell button so you'll be notified for all future content. A huge thanks and shout out to all our sponsors. Check out their links in the description down below. So we'll be seeing you in the next episode. Stay safe always mga kalifit.
Like and subscribe sa LifeWith40.